Why horror movies scare humans? By me. So today I will be going over why horror movies scare humans. The fact that how darkness and supernatural, fear of death, it's just all of these things accommodate to the the fear that horror movies bring natural humans. First thing I will be talking about is how sound effects affect the movie. Sound effects will affect the movie, or moreover a horror movie, more because say you're in a scary scene and you're in a basement or something like this, sound cuts, and then there's just nothing there. This will also go with my next slide. However, you're there in a basement, no sound, you can't hear anything, you can't see anything because it's a dark basement horror movie, and then sound brings back up. You might get scared by it, you might not be. You never know because you can't hear it until it actually happens, which will undoubtedly end up scaring you because you don't expect it. Next, I will be talking about suspense. Suspense is a very difficult thing to talk about because of how it affects your brain. So, from past experiences that you have, like say you've seen, say the first horror movie you've seen is Annabelle. There's a scene where they're like in a well or something like that, and there's constant sound flowing through, and you're just getting scared left and right. But however, if they're in somewhere like a basement and it's a completely different horror movie, you're going to try to expect that. Your subconscious mind is going to try to expect what's going to happen. I think this is going to happen, and then it doesn't happen. Sound cuts like it did last time, and then you're sitting there in suspense. Nothing's going on, you're wandering around, you don't know what's happening. And then it jumps out at you. But your brain didn't expect it, so that's why it scared you. This is an example of suspense. Just look for how it comes up out of nowhere. I mean, I'll probably get scared by this. As you can hear, it was completely silent until something came out of nowhere. That is the nature of suspense. Like, say you're traveling around the house at night. This happened to me last night. So I was traveling around my house last night, and nothing's going on, right? And then something happened, and then it scared me because your brain expects something to happen, or it doesn't expect something to happen. And then when something happens, you didn't expect it, so it triggers a reaction. That's the best way we can explain that. A long, very lingering fear of the dark. And fear of the dark is something that almost every human has had, or still does have. Humans just naturally fear the dark when they're young because, back in the primitive ages when humans were still, Stone Age, we never went out at night because there was predators like lions, saber-toothed tigers. I mean, who knows what it could have been out there because we probably didn't. So we just stayed away from more like the nocturnal predators. And then you see this in a movie, right? Your primitive instincts start to trigger, and then suspense and sound effects are still there. So that also adds to the effect of it, which makes it more scary, which isn't fun for anybody. Unless you like to be scared, like me. Fear of death is another very complicated thing to talk about because humans view death as you lose. So if you've ever played a video game, which I guess a lot of you have, like an arcade game, you're playing it and then you hear the big words, game over. That's what a lot of people see death as. I mean, since you're no longer here, what have you done to impact everything else on the world? I mean, it's hard to think about because you don't know what you have done to impact every other person on this planet. I mean, your mere existence is very hard to comprehend, and then you just fading out of existence is even harder to comprehend because we don't know how, why, or even when it happens because Unnatural circumstances like car crashes, lightning strikes, can happen to anybody at any time. It's random. So we don't know how everything fades in and out of existence coherently. And that's why death scares a lot of people. Okay. Supernatural. Wait, good TV show, by the way. A fear of the supernatural is a very, very difficult thing to talk about because we don't know what happens after death. I mean, just talking about death is difficult because it scares a lot of people. And I mean, you have the phobia called phasmophobia, which is a fear of ghosts and supernatural. But what's weird about this is, you're seeing this creepy figure down a hallway, right? It's dark, horror movie style, sounds there, suspense there, everything's there. Your primitive instincts are kicking in. You just see this thing. You don't know what it is. And that's why it scares you. Humans fear what they don't know. Like, say we were going underground. Would you be nervous or would you be cool? I mean, you're going underground to a place that's never been explored before. So what are you gonna think? Wow, this is cool. I'm going to somewhere that nobody's ever been before. Or you're gonna be thinking, oh crap, I'm kind of scared because nobody's ever been here before. Anything could be down there. We don't know. So this is why supernatural, ghosts, werewolves, vampires, if you really want to bring up that kind of stuff, scares a lot of people. In conclusion, humans are just kind of scared of a lot of things. I mean, if you think about it, you get scared by people walking around corners. I mean, that literally happened to me a few minutes ago. Anyways, so horror movies are just a difficult thing to explain. It triggers a lot of sensors in your brain, primitive instincts, and all this mumbo jumbo that I can't explain. So humans are just scared of a lot of things. That's the best way that I think anybody can put it. So what's another way that you can put this? So horror movies. Humans don't like them. Like your subconscious will not be with the horror movie, but you will be because you want to watch that movie for the scare. Horror movies make you feel small. They make you feel so not important because of these feeble little things that can scare you, like supernatural, death, even puny little sound effects can scare any human. I mean, no matter how tough you think you are, you will be scared by something. So, like I said before, humans are scared of a lot of things.